Convicted killer Bryan Kohberger waking up in one of America's hellhole prisons after he was sentenced to killing Kaylee Gonzalves, Madison Mogen, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. Those 4 murders. And Kaylee was stabbed over 30 times. Her parents spoke out openly about that. Let's take a listen.
Once the president sent a truth statement out, they called us right up and they told us everything. So I don't know what was holding them back before, but we spent about 3 hours, close to 3 hours with the lead detectives. And yeah, we found, because our main thing was we didn't want to have victims advocate statements that had lies and misquotes and misinformation in it. So I appreciate the president, putting a little bit of pressure on there, and it seemed to work. Up until that time, they told us they were not going to tell us, and we were going to have to just wait for the things to be unsealed. But yeah, it was horrific what Kaylee went through. Yeah, and I don't want to protect this guy, but I won't give out all the details. I'll be general, but yeah, she was stabbed over 30 plus times, and she was struck, and there was quite a bit of damage to her face. So this guy's just an absolute monster. Anyone who thinks that he's otherwise, I just looked at pure demons out there. When I was looking at him, we had to stare down, and he's just filled with demons. He's dark pits of eyes.
Steve Gonzalves, Kaylee's dad, right there. What these families have been through is just incredible. And their healing isn't over, right? Even though the case may be disposed of. Think about what they may be going through today and every day here on after for those brutal murders of their loved ones. And in the courtroom, they got a chance to say their piece. People still talking about the impact that was left by those impact statements. Perhaps the most talked about one given by Kaylee's big sister, Olivia. I want to play a portion of that one now for you.
I will call you what you are. Sociopath, psychopath, murderer. I will ask the questions that reverberate violently in my own head, so loudly that I can't think straight most any day. Some of these might be familiar, so sit up straight when I talk to you. How was your life right before you murdered my sisters? Did you prepare for the crime before leaving your apartment? Please detail what you were thinking and feeling at this time. Why did you choose my sisters? Before making your move, did you approach my sisters? Detail what you were thinking and feeling. Before leaving their home, is there anything else you did? How does it feel to know the only thing you failed more miserably at than being a murderer is trying to be a rapper? Did you recently start shaving or manually pulling out your eyebrows? Why November 13th? Did you truly think your Amazon purchase was untraceable because you used a gift card? How do you find it enjoyable to stargaze with such a severe case of visual snow? Where is the murder weapon, the clothes you wore that night? What did you bring into the house with you? What was the second weapon you used on Kaylee? What were Kaylee's last words? Please describe in detail the level of anxiety you must have felt when you heard the Bearcat pull up to your family home on December 30th, 2022. Which do you regret more? Returning to the crime scene 5 hours later, or never, ever going back to Moscow, not even once, after stalking them there for months? If you were really smart, do you think you'd be here right now? What's it like needing this much attention just to feel real? You're terrified of being ordinary, aren't you? Do you feel anything at all? Or are you exactly what you always feared? Nothing. If you're so powerful, then why are you still hiding, defendant? You see, I'm here today as me. But who are you? Let's try to take off your mask and see. You didn't create devastation. You revealed it in yourself. And that darkness you carry, that emptiness, you'll sit with it long after this is over. That is your sentence. And it was written on the wall long before you ever pled guilty. You didn't win. You just exposed yourself as the coward you are. You're a delusional, pathetic, hypochondriac loser who thought you were so much smarter than everybody else. Constantly scolding, turning your nose up to grammar mistakes, nitpicking and criticizing others. You wanted so badly to be different, to be special, to be better, to be deep, to be mysterious. You found yourself thinking you were better than everyone else, and you thought you could figure out the human psyche and see through it, all while tweaked out on heroin. Lurking in the shadows made you feel powerful because no one ever paid you any attention in the light. You thought you were exceptional, all because of a grade on a paper. You thought you were elite because your online IQ test from 2010 told you so. All of that effort just to seem important. It's desperate. There is a name for your condition, though. Your inflated ego just didn't allow you to see it. Wannabe. You act like no one could ever understand your mind, but the truth is you're basic. You're a textbook case of insecurity disguised as control. Your patterns are predictable. Your motives are shallow. You are not profound. You're pathetic. You aren't special or deep, not mysterious or exceptional. Don't ever get it twisted again. No one is scared of you today. No one is intimidated by you. No one is impressed by you. No one thinks that you are important. You orchestrated this like you thought you were God. Now look at you, begging a courtroom for scraps. You spent months preparing, and still all it took was my sister in a sheath. You work so hard to seem dangerous, but real control doesn't have to prove itself. The truth is, the scariest part about you is how painfully average you turned out to be. The truth is, you're as dumb as they come. Stupid, clumsy, slow, sloppy, weak, dirty. Let me be very clear. Don't ever try to convince yourself you mattered just because someone finally said your name out loud. I see through you. You want the truth? Here's the one you'll hate the most. If you hadn't attacked them in their sleep, in the middle of the night, like a pedophile, Kaylee would have kicked your. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, she deserved that applause. She really did. Let's bring in Jessica Mishali, criminal defense attorney, and welcome in law enforcement expert Sunny Slaughter to talk a little bit about what we just saw from Olivia Gonzalves, something that people are still talking about this morning, those impact statements. They really did make an impact on us all, especially that one. Sunny, let me go to you here, please. What did you think when you heard from Olivia and the messages she gave to this awful defendant?
Good morning, Julie. Good morning to my amazing co-guests and to all of the courties. Powerful, poignant, pressurized, perfect, gallant, leader, exquisite. The most important thing besides the sentencing of Kohberger for this crime will be from Olivia. That words, her presentation, her victim impact statement will go down in history as something that cut so deep, like the sheath that he left from the knife that he used. That's how that cut him. Every word. He might have sat there looking stoic, but I am sure he felt that to the depth of his bones. and the brutal way that he changed the lives of those 4 amazing young people, their families, and this entire nation. Olivia's words just showed he is nothing. And when she said he was basic, that was it. He is basically nothing.
Oh, I love that, Sunny. Basically nothing. Yes, you're so right. Thank you for all of that. Jessica, same question to you, please. Your thoughts on Olivia and the way that she addressed him. You've seen a lot of statements, through the years. What did you think of this one? How did it really stand out to you?
It stands out very strongly. She was on point. It was the perfect balance of eloquently putting forth her feelings about who he is. I think she really, really targeted getting at him. She wanted him to be affected by these words, and I'm sure he certainly was. I'm sure that though he had no visible effect, he was shamed and he was feeling smaller than he ever has before. I see the whole situation as just extremely, extremely sad. I'm so sad for Olivia, for all of the families and the friends that are affected by this.
I know you are. I know you are. We're very mindful of that on this program. It's a court date for some people, but this is a lifetime for these people, a lifetime of heartache and pain. And just because the case is disposed of doesn't mean anything gets any easier. We hope that they were able to take away a little bit of peace, some measure of peace. They always say with a homicide, you never fully heal. There never is full, complete closure, never. But if you could just get a little bit from something, from a date like this, we have to take the wins where we can get them in our justice system. Sunny, Jessica, you both know that so well. We're going to keep talking about this case. We're going to look back at Dylan's statement. And then, of course, we're getting ready in Michigan to go in live to a sentencing for a woman who killed her beautiful daughter. Stay with us.